The glass door slammed so hard it rattled the entire showroom. A sales tablet slipped from someone's hand and hit the marble floor with a sharp crack. Conversations died instantly. Every head turned at once, not toward the sound but toward the man who had just walked in. He didn't belong there. Dust clung to his worn shirt. His shoes were scuffed, uneven, like they had walked too many miles without rest. His shoulders were slightly hunched, but his eyes were calm. Too calm. He stepped forward slowly, taking in the polished floors, the gleaming lights, the rows of flawless machines that screamed wealth and status. And then in a voice that didn't shake, not even once, he said, "I'd like to see your most exclusive car." A beat of silence. Then a laugh. Not loud at first. Just one. Then another. Then a ripple spreading across the room. If you've ever had someone look at you and decide your worth in a second, go ahead and hit that like button right now. And tell me in the comments, what did you do? Because what happened next, no one in that room was ready for. Dominic Hale noticed him immediately. He always noticed things that didn't fit. It was part of what made him successful: attention to detail, control, perfection. And right now, this man was a stain on the image he had built so carefully. Dominic adjusted his cufflinks and walked toward him, each step measured, deliberate. "Sir," he said, his voice smooth but edged with irritation, "I believe you may be in the wrong place." The man turned to him, meeting his eyes without hesitation. "I don't think I am." Dominic's smile tightened. "This is Echelon Motors. We deal in exclusive clientele." "I'm aware," the man replied. That calm again. It unsettled Dominic more than he wanted to admit. From across the showroom, Sienna Cole watched the interaction unfold, her lips curling slightly in amusement. She leaned against a sleek car, arms crossed, eyes scanning the man like he was a problem she didn't feel like solving. "Oh no," she muttered under her breath, loud enough for the nearby staff to hear. "Not another one of these." A few chuckles followed. The man didn't react. "I asked to see your most exclusive car," he repeated, his tone unchanged. Sienna pushed herself off the car and walked over, heels clicking sharply against the floor. "Sir," she said, her smile polished but cold, "these vehicles aren't for casual browsing. They're for serious buyers." There it was. The judgment. Clear. Unfiltered. The kind that didn't need to shout to be loud. A few customers nearby turned to watch. Staff members exchanged glances, some amused, some curious, none stepping in. Except one. Noah Bennett had been standing near the back, quietly observing. He had only been working there for a few months, long enough to understand the unspoken rules, but not long enough to feel comfortable breaking them. He had heard the whispers before. The jokes. The way certain customers were dismissed before they even spoke. He had told himself to stay out of it, to focus on his job, to not make trouble. But something about the way the man stood there, calm, steady, unmoved, made it harder to look away. Noah took a breath, then stepped forward. "Or maybe," he said carefully, "they're for anyone who deserves to be treated with respect." The room shifted. Sienna's head snapped toward him. Dominic's expression darkened instantly. "Excuse me," Sienna said. Noah swallowed but didn't step back. "I can assist him," he continued, turning slightly toward the man. "If that's all right." For a moment no one spoke. The tension was thick enough to feel. Dominic let out a short laugh, shaking his head. "Ryan." "Noah," Noah corrected quietly. Dominic's eyes narrowed. "Right. Noah. Step aside." But Noah didn't move. Instead, he looked at the man again. "Sir, I'd be happy to show you any car you'd like." The man studied him for a second, then nodded. "Thank you." Something small, almost invisible, shifted in the air. And just like that, everything began to change. If you were in Noah's position, would you have stepped in or stayed quiet? Be honest. Drop it in the comments. Dominic exhaled sharply, clearly annoyed. "Fine," he said, waving a hand dismissively. "Let's not waste too much time on this." Sienna smirked. "This should be entertaining." Noah ignored them and gestured toward the center of the showroom. "This way, sir." They walked side by side, past rows of cars that reflected the overhead lights like mirrors. Noah could feel eyes on them. He could hear the whispers. "Is he serious?" He's going to get himself fired. This is ridiculous. He tried to focus. This, Noah said, stopping in front of a sleek, dark machine, is our most exclusive model. The man stepped closer, his gaze sharpening. He ran his fingers lightly along the surface, not like someone admiring it, but like someone assessing it. How many units were produced? He asked. Noah blinked. Limited release, he said. Only a handful globally. The man nodded. And the engine configuration? Noah answered. Then another question. And another. Each one more precise than the last. Not casual curiosity. Detailed. Technical. Intentional. Noah felt something stir in his chest. This man knew what he was talking about. From across the room, Sienna watched with a raised brow. What is he doing? She whispered. Dominic frowned slightly. I don't know. Back near the car, the man straightened. I'd like to meet your manager, he said. Noah hesitated for a second, then nodded. Of course. Dominic was already walking toward them. You wanted to see me? He said. The man turned. Yes. Dominic clasped his hands together. Well, here I am. The man studied him for a moment. Longer than necessary. Long enough to make Dominic shift slightly. Good, the man said finally. Because what happens next matters. A flicker of irritation crossed Dominic's face. I'm going to stop you right there, he said. We've entertained this long enough. The man didn't respond. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Silence. Heavy. Thick. Noah felt his stomach tighten. Something about this felt wrong. Very wrong. The man reached into his pocket, pulled out his phone, and calmly made a call. Send them in. That was it. No explanation. No urgency. Just certainty. Sienna let out a soft laugh. Oh, this should be good. Dominic shook his head. You really think? The glass doors opened again. But this time, no one laughed. Men in dark suits walked in, their presence commanding attention without a word. Behind them were others, more formal, more serious. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Conversations stopped. Smiles faded. The air itself seemed to tighten. Dominic's confidence faltered. Who? He started. Then one of the men stepped forward, and everything changed. Mr. Voss, he said respectfully. The man nodded. Elias Voss. The name hit the room like a shockwave. Dominic's face drained of color. Sienna took a step back, her expression cracking. Noah stood frozen. Elias turned slowly, his calm gaze sweeping across the showroom one last time before settling on Dominic. No customer, he said, his voice steady, should ever be treated the way you treated me today. No one moved. No one spoke. Effective immediately, Elias continued. You are suspended. Dominic blinked. Sir, I didn't know. That's the problem, Elias said. You didn't care to know. The words landed harder than any shout. Sienna Cole, Elias said next. She straightened instinctively. Yes, sir. You're on probation. Her lips parted slightly but no words came out. Then Elias turned. To Noah. The room followed his gaze. Noah's heart pounded in his chest. Mr. Bennett, Elias said. Noah swallowed. Yes, sir. You saw what others refused to see. A pause. You treated me like a person. Noah didn't know what to say. You've just been promoted, Elias continued. Assistant General Manager. Gasps filled the room. Noah's eyes widened. Sir, I was just doing my job. Elias shook his head. No. You were doing what others forgot to do. Respect. 3 weeks later, the showroom felt different. Quieter. Not in sound but in attitude. The arrogance was gone. The judgment had softened. Customers were greeted with genuine smiles. Noah stood at the center of it all, still adjusting, still learning. It wasn't easy. There were moments he doubted himself. Moments he wondered if he was ready. But every time he hesitated, he remembered that day. And the choice he made. Dominic worked in the service area now. The first time their eyes met again, it was different. No pride. No arrogance. Just humility. I was wrong, Dominic said quietly. Noah nodded. That was enough. One evening as the sun dipped low, Noah received a message. He opened it slowly. Success will try to change you. Don't let it. Noah looked up, scanning the showroom. A new customer had just walked in. Simple clothes. Uncertain expression. Noah smiled and walked toward him. If this story meant something to you, don't just watch and leave. Like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more stories like this. And tell me, do you think people like Dominic deserve a second chance? Because sometimes, the way you treat people when you think they don't matter says everything about who you really are.